What is going on, folks? CJ Lauerman, aka That Sports Gamer here, head of Community 4 out of the Park Developments, and back for another Baseball America Prospects League update. It's my good friend, associate editor at Baseball America,
Executive editor.
Executive editor. What did I say?
Associate.
See,
you demoted me.
You know, I was looking before. I even double checked on the website and in my little thing that I hit when I say JJ Cooper is an executive editor at Baseball America. I read it literally 5 minutes ago. I don't know why I demoted you for a half second.
It's okay. It's okay.
JJ, things have been happening.
Yes.
In baseball.
But today, I mean, okay, for everyone out there.
Yeah.
September 30th, I think, is the day.
That's the deadline for the MLB.
No, I wasn't even going there. I was going playoffs. I was going playoffs today.
All right.
You just gave me a really bad idea. I don't want to spend September 30th on reporting. I just want to be enjoying the utter cavalcade, torrent, flood of baseball in a day where we will have 8 wild card games going on the same day, which is,
hopefully
insanity.
Barring smoke, fire.
Oh, there are things to worry about.
Health. Yes. There's a lot going on in the world. But yeah, you need to be reporting the MLB MILB agreement. So hopefully you just say we got it or we didn't get it, and then you can take the rest of the day off.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be happening. So I'll be like on the phone and I'll be watching, the screen the whole time. Yeah, it'll not be. Yeah, that's a bummer. It just hit me that those two things could coincide. But,
it feels like we're getting somewhere with the MLB agreement.
There's definitely talks going on. Well, it has to get somewhere. I promise you this. There's going to be a resolution one way or another. There is going to be a resolution either with an agreement or with the MLB saying, here's our system, come and join. Now, I can't tell you which one of those is going to be yet, but one of those two is going to happen. And realistically, not too distant future. Well, I mean, what am I saying? It's the 15th. The not too distant future is like, my kids are talking about they track out in October, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll be done with the current PBA agreement before then.
Yeah, and it's weird, but I feel like you guys just put up the latest Baseball America podcast with you and Josh talking about stuff, and I feel like even though that went up not so long ago, I'm like, I have questions that I don't know if things have changed since when I listened to it a half hour ago.
And the other thing I'd say with that is that, if people want to check out at baseballamerica.com, we also I'm kind of trying to answer fans' questions as they have them about this. Because, I get questions all the time that I understand the questions I'm getting. It's not like I'm mocking anyone, but it's like, so does this mean that there won't be affiliates anymore and MLB will just assign players to random teams? It's like, no, it will still be, if you're a baseball fan in Charlotte, you'll go to Charlotte's Knights games almost assuredly. They'll likely be in the 120 and they'll likely be an affiliate. They may even still be a White Sox affiliate. You'll go to AAA games and it'll be White Sox players playing. And from that standpoint, it will be very little different than how it is right now and how people are, used to seeing it. Now, if you're in an Appalachian League city, I feel comfortable in saying you're not going to be an affiliate of baseball next year. So it will be very different. But it's going to be, it's going to be very dependent on where you are, how much you're going to feel the effects of this, I guess would be the way to put it.
Yeah, and you could also still be an affiliate with a major league team, but maybe not the major league team that you were affiliate with last year.
Right, which is also true, though, a lot in baseball already. It's something where we have the Carolina Mudcats not too far from us, and I think the Mudcats have been 5 different affiliates since I've been, at Baseball America. I've been at Baseball America a while, but they've been in 2 different leagues and 5 different affiliates, I think, over that time. So, some are very stable, but some bounce around all the time already.
It's funny because when I was listening to the show and you and Josh were talking about the Mudcats in particular, and Josh didn't know the Reds were an affiliate, and I was like, we're the same age, but I knew that, so maybe I am getting old.
Yeah, you are getting old. But Josh was, because Josh was not with us, and when he was still up in New Jersey when that happened. So, but I was actually at a Cincinnati Reds Carolina Mudcats exhibition game right after they got the Reds, and so watched Juan Francisco, the one-time third base prospect for them, played for the Braves a little bit too, and watched him hit a homer that just mammoth, utterly mammoth shot. Just like, yeah, okay, that was my memory of that day. You know.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the things that's been talked about a lot is I feel like if your team is an affiliate of a team that's like nowhere near you, I feel like you're gonna have a better chance of changing affiliates.
Yes,
Because it sounds like they're
I
gonna
would.
want to keep their affiliates closer to home than like when
Right,
the
I'm
Mets
not.
had Las Vegas as a AAA team.
Right, that is one of the things that absolutely positively they want to change in this. They don't want there to be the cross country affiliate like this past year, well, 2019, when we had minor league baseball. Oh, the days. Um, the Nationals AAA was out in Fresno. Well, one of the things they did with that is they kept some of their better relievers in AA because AA was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is much closer than Fresno, California to DC. And so, but the idea being, if you keep them there, then, and we need to bring a guy up, we can get him here in a day. Where if we decide we need a guy and he's in Fresno or he's on the road in Sacramento or Las Vegas or keep going down the list, it may take, if we decide in the morning we need a guy, he may not be here in time. And so that's the kind of thing that having everyone more, closely aligned would fix. It also, from the standpoint of coaches who go from minor league team to minor, different levels, they bounce around the Rovers, they would, you know, they would be one of the ones where it's like, okay, hey, my travel will be better if it's more tightly packed. And by the way, Jefferson Jim, I'm sorry. Yeah, Eugene, I'm feeling for you guys. I saw that the air quality index out there was 420 today,
Yeah,
which that's horrendous.
yeah. I can't even imagine what's going on over there.
And I also want to, I just like to answer the chat questions. EV Cincy 2. Um, I don't think that teams are going to evolve to owning their own minor league teams instead of the affiliate system. There's not a legal reason. There are teams that do this. The Braves own their low A, high A, triple A clubs. Well, technically, I guess they don't own their high A. I'm sorry, low A, double A, triple A clubs. They own them right now. But there are a lot of teams who don't want to own their minor league teams. They don't think it's worth the trouble. And so and to be honest, generally, the teams that are owned by others than the major league teams actually do a better job of running it, usually from the business side, because for a major league team, the revenue of a minor league team is very small. But if you're a even reasonably wealthy person who owns a minor league team, for you, that the 1, 2, 3 million in profit it could make in a year is very large, and so those people, understandably, generally have a little bit tighter focus on making sure that they run them very well. So
Yeah, and even if we do get this all figured out, we still don't know what is going to happen next year. We don't know
no,
if
no,
we're going
no,
to have
no,
full stadiums, if we're going to have 25%
no,
stadiums, or nobody at
and
stadiums.
and to be honest, I mean, I would say there's more pessimism about that now than there was, because when we were talking about this when this first happened in April, when they said there's not going to be minor league games right now, they didn't say it would be the rest of the season. The thought is okay, hopefully, we'll be, and right now we're playing NFL games largely in empty stadiums. We're playing Major League Baseball in empty stadiums. We're playing NBA in empty stadiums. Well, so there's still plenty of time right now. We're still sitting here in September. We got October, we got all the way till next April for minor league baseball. But at the same time, we have a lot to go. We have a lot of stuff that has to happen for there to be close to full stadiums. And again, would teams right now take 25 or 50% over not having games, which they didn't this year? Absolutely. But that said, minor league baseball is an industry that's very dependent on packing people in and when they can. Um, and by the way, Big Red TD, the quality of facilities is absolutely the three things MLB wants in this that they say repeatedly: quality of facility, improving the facilities, better geography, so better travel, the players and also for staff, administrative, and all, and quality market/ownership. So those are the three things that MLB teams are looking for in this new agreement on minor league baseball.
Lots more of this and great stuff over at baseballamerica.com. You can sign up for just as low as $6.99 a month. I highly recommend you do that. And if you don't want to do that for some reason,
and I will thank you if you do,
go to your podcast app of choice and look for the Baseball America podcast. JJ and Josh just did a great.
Those are free.
Yeah, those are all you can eat. Right?
And we have Kyle and I. Those are, and we're coming. Yeah, they're coming out pretty hard. Like seemingly one or two a day. Mm-hmm. We have another one that Kyle and I recorded this afternoon about the playoff format that we would expect to be up tomorrow morning too. So they just keep coming.
Yeah, and on top of that, you've had interviews with college coaches about fall practice. I think Josh interviewed someone about what it was like at the alternate site.
Ricky Vanasco, who is on the, I believe is in the game.
I'll look. Unless we have to update him recently. Yeah, he is. Starting for the Rangers. He's good.
Yeah.
10-14. I did have one question for you. With this crazy, weird year, has there anybody in the majors right now that has surprised you, like someone that you thought was maybe like a late next year call up that through all these weird circumstances has now come up to the pros, had their chance to shine, and now you think they're going to be a guy that's going to be staying with their pro club from here on?
That's an interesting. The second part, I will start with the first part. I'm going to answer because I had a name that immediately came to mind, but it doesn't fit the second part of your criteria, which is Phillies catcher Rafael Marchand, who's up right now.
I think he's making the start tonight, I think, is his
right, and who basically was in low A last year and is a catcher. Catchers don't really jump from low A to the majors in the span of the year in a normal year, but this is a year obviously that's not normal in any way.
If you and the Phillies might have a hole at catcher
they may.
At the end of the year, depending on what happens.
Yes, they may. If you said a guy though who's kind of come up and is unexpectedly made the jump. Okay, this is not a perfect answer, but it's one that comes to mind. It's not surprising that Devin Williams is up for the Brewers, but if you told me that Devin Williams was going to turn into the guy where it's like where Brewers fans are looking at this and saying, why don't we trade Josh Hader? I'd much rather have Devin Williams finishing out games. I never expected to see that this year. I mean, I talked to guys last year who thought that he had a good changeup, like an above average changeup. Those same scouts I talk to now, and they're like, yeah, I had a 55 maybe on it. Maybe I had a 60 on it on the 2080 scouting scale. And yeah, they're now like, that's an 80. That's not just the 80. That's the best 80 in the game 80 changeup, So that's, guys can get better, and that's the case of an example of a guy who has gotten better and, is now a very prominent member of the Brewers going forward.
I mean, I know who I could say.
Who would you say?
Obviously, Ian Anderson. After not only injuries and all this craziness, I was expecting, maybe he'd come up if this was like a regular season, maybe he'd come up at the end of the year, but maybe next spring he'd try to do something and then they'd probably hold him out for a while. But I feel like the way he's pitching now, he's starting a playoff game and he's got to be in your rotation next year. You can't send him back down and screw around with him now.
I think right now, if you said the Braves are able to line up the rotation for the playoffs, it's like, okay, Max Fried gets the ball in game 1, Ian Anderson gets the ball in game 2, and you're hoping that Cole Hamels is healthy for game 3.
Yeah, not Robbie Erlin, who I think they just released today.
They did just release Robbie Erlin. I mean, I think it's Kyle Wright. By the way, I'm a little bit behind on looking at my face, man, that was a weird look I had on my face just a minute ago. But yeah, not Robbie Erlin, not Kyle Wright, not Tuki Toussaint, we could just keep on. For the Braves, you can go down the list on that.
But since the Braves are always a great topic of conversation, we can dive into the game and we can see that Jasiel De La Cruz, who I believe they just called up today, 4-1 with a 2.02 ERA in the Baseball America Prospects League.
and
See how
Ian Anderson.
see how I segued that perfectly?
Yeah, that was
Beautiful.
beautiful. I mean, that really was beautiful. And by the way, everyone, um, also excited to say thanks to the awesome efforts of Alex. I believe these are updated rosters.
Yes, we have the updated rosters. All the changes took place on September 1st, so essentially like September call-ups in this
And
league.
trades.
And
Yeah, the
trades.
trade deadline. Yeah, the trade deadline was August 31st, didn't I think?
Yeah, so everybody's on the right teams now. So Tramel's on the Mariners. 1,000 people are now on the Padres, I believe.
Yeah, 1,000 people are no longer on the Padres too. That was the list that was like, geez, I've got to, keep sending guys for to get changed. Yeah, I mean, it's completely reworked the Padres in some way.
Yeah. Now we're up
Yeah.
to September 14th. And so far, Tampa and the Dodgers have both clinched their divisions. And the Braves have clinched a wild card berth. Or not a wild card berth. They've clinched a playoff berth, but they've not clinched their division yet. Though we do have some teams that have made early exits. The Yankees, Red Sox, and Blue Jays have all been eliminated. The Yankees are 69 and 80. 28 and a half games back of those Rays.
And the Nationals wish to be that.
Yeah.
They're 55 and 95.
They are the worst team in the Baseball America Prospects League, 55 and 95. That's not saying a lot because the Mets have one more win than them, as do the Angels and the Blue Jays, and the Brewers aren't that far away. But
I mean, basically, the Centrals are our drama here because there are a lot of very tiny magic numbers at this point.
Yeah. In the Central, we have the Reds, 82 and 67, up a half game on the Cardinals, and up 3 games on the Pirates. So everybody's close there. And I think the Rockies are also 2.5 back of the wild card, so they have a chance to get in. And in the AL Central, the Twins are winning with a 47 and 63 record. Tigers are 3.5 behind them, and then the Orioles are a game back in the wild card. Astros are 3 games back. So we're pretty much getting there. Still 2 weeks to go. Probably the next stream, we will wrap the regular season and dive into
perfect
wild
time.
Cards.
Yeah. Which is also notable here. I will single out, the Rays are already in, the Dodgers are already in the playoffs, the Braves are already in the playoffs, and all of those teams also are going to be in the playoffs in major leagues too, which that's a very nice, that's a nice combo to have.
That bodes well for the future of those teams.
Yes, right. And the Twins, I mean, again, the Twins are going to make the playoffs too, and they haven't clinched yet, but their chances of being in the playoffs look very good as well. So,
I don't know about the Mariners making the playoffs, though.
No, I mean, I don't think. I mean, again, they still technically have a shot, but no, I don't think so.
Yeah, they're more of a rebuild team,
yeah.
IRL right now.
But by the way, I would say that no one. Okay, Cardinal fan. I was a little worried there, to be honest. The Cardinal fan 3000 had not asked about Carlson and Gorman before TJ even checks. I can tell you, they're not doing that well because that's been the story of their season for some reason.
Maybe they've turned it on, but the Cardinals have been 5-5 in the last 10 games, so I'm gonna assume not.
But I also want to know, do we have a Triple Crown winner? Because we had a couple of guys who were making some solid cases for that.
Yeah, let's go in here, check out the league leaders. In the American League, leading in batting average, Luis Robert, 327. 42 home runs for Austin Hayes. Wow. No, go ahead.
Talk about that holds up. I mean, Lamont Wade is, running away. There's not going to be a sabermetric Triple Crown in this league because, man, he's up by more than 40 points. But Luis Robert, that's I would imagine a pretty solid case for MVP, especially, by the way, he's not going to get RBIs, I don't think, but he does look like he's going to get batting average. He still could get homers.
Yeah, he's right in the mix of it there.
By the way, talk about a list of guys who, Robert, Jared Walsh has been having a pretty surprisingly monster season in the big leagues. There's some names here that very much have translated over to the majors this year.
And even when we started Baseball America Prospects League, this is kind of what we thought were going to happen. Some of these guys that were, MLB ready were going to be the guys that were going to shine in here, and they've done just that.
And by the way, Big Red, I'm gonna say that Isabel's not gonna get 300 Ks. That's my prediction.
I don't
But
remember where he was last time. He was high though.
he was very high. I would say major league all-time record, sure, but 300. I was talking today about Dwight Gooden. Um, Dwight Gooden in 1983 in the Carolina League struck out 300 in the minors in 191 innings, which is truly remarkable because it's nowadays, again, their pitchers throw less innings, but we also see a lot more strikeouts. And nowadays, no minor leaguer has struck out 200 in a season since 2011. So the fact that Dwight Gooden struck out 300 batters is just utterly insane. Nick Heath running away with it.
Wait, didn't this guy get traded? Didn't Lucius Fox get traded?
That may have been my screw up. I may have failed to. That's on me. That's on me.
Not the guy from.
Yes, he should be a Royal.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should have Royals in three of the top four stolen base spots.
Wander Franco is in the league, Hitman. By the way, Wander Franco's just not had a monster season in this league. I would say he's actually been outperformed, as you see right here, by fellow Rays shortstop Xavier Edwards.
Except for the fact that Xavier, you can't see it, he's behind your head. Xavier Edwards has been caught stealing 16 times.
Yes, that's true. But he also has 208 hits. So,
yeah. But no home runs. Hit a home run for me one time, Xavier Edwards. Maybe he's got triples. He's got 11 triples.
Estevan Florial, 212. 212. Ivanel Isabel laughs at 212 strikeouts leading the league.
Yeah. What else we got here? Jorge Mateo now finally on Oakland with 14 triples. Not bad. Yeah, Florida.
Oh, I didn't catch that one because he's now a Padre.
Wait,
they traded him. That's my fault again. That one happened way early. So
but I feel like I told Alex to do that at some point. So.
But yeah, because he was traded for it wasn't Profar, some other deal. But let's check out the AL pitching if you don't mind. I'd love to see.
AL pitching. I'm gonna guess Ivy's up there. Tyler Ivy.
Yeah.
1.99 ERA. 0.3 better than the rest of the league. So pretty good. Kopech got his 20th win.
20th win.
After a perfect game and a no-hitter, so not bad there.
Davey Garcia, who we've seen in the big leagues, same as we've seen Jesus Luzardo. Unfortunately, AJ Puck is going under the knife, I should say. Joe Ryan, 254 Ks. Very impressive.
Yeah, and without guys getting hurt, Casey Mize, 220 innings almost.
Yeah. If this was real life, the Tigers pitching development staff that did that would be drawn and quartered right now for letting a minor leaguer throw 220 innings, but that's not what we're doing here.
When was the last time 7 guys threw 200 innings in the AL?
A long time.
Yeah. Hector Yan, 121 walks. Not good.
Yeah, Hunter Harvey lasted all year and this year because, again, no injuries. Alex Fado.
30 home runs against.
Yeah, that's...
Still 14-11. Not bad. 3.81 ERA.
Okay. We got to go to the NL hitting because I got to know. Ibnell Isabel.
You don't want to know about Carter Kieboom? I thought he was doing pretty good.
I do, but I want to know about
aspirations. Ibnell, 43 home runs, leading all of baseball. Oh, good. It doesn't have the strikeouts there. We can wait on that.
43 home runs, maybe a couple of strikeouts to go with it. Probably 43, 44. You know.
Brendan Rodgers. He's really stolen the show from the early Carter Kieboom push.
Man.
Yeah, he's first in average with a 358. 29 home runs, so that puts him at 5th, leading No, not leading. Third in RBI. Colorado has 3 of the top 4 RBI guys, which is kind of crazy.
Coors Field.
True. Yeah, they also have 3 of the top 7, or 3 of the top 5 home run guys too. So I guess that makes sense. Rogers is second in on base at 435. So there's an outside chance he gets the sabermetric triple crown. He's only 1 point behind Gavin Lux on base percentage.
He's got a solid shot.
Carter Kieboom just lying in the weeds and all those also.
Right. Again, that's a very interesting battle that continues there. Sorry, I had to switch the game that I'm watching. I'm watching Twins White Sox now in real life.
What else we got here? Brendan Rodgers, also 208 hits, so he's doing.
Okay, and here it comes though. Here it comes.
I see him. I see the red creeping up.
I see it. Yes.
240 strikeouts currently.
Only 240. I mean,
yeah. There's still 2 weeks left, so he could definitely put up another 20 if he really tries.
Yeah. DJ Peters is chasing hard, but no way to catch him.
Yeah.
No way.
Wow. DJ Peters, 209 strikeouts, 116 walks. How many at bats?
Three true outcome dude. You know. Again, like if you said picking an MVP in the National League, it is tough.
So he's had almost 700 plate appearances. Right? And over 700 plate appearances, and almost half of them have been strikeouts or home runs.
Impressive.
That's certainly something. Yeah, a lot more Brandon Rogers and some Gavin Lux.
And then we have the pitching.
All right, let's see. Spencer Howard still doing very good. 1.71 ERA. He's 0.4 better than Luis Patino, so he's doing good there. 16 wins for Mackenzie Gore.
Ian Anderson, 2 shutouts.
Gore, Helsley, and Kranick all have 16 wins. Antoine Kelly, sadly, 20 losses.
And you have said that Helsley is consistently good in OOTP.
Yeah, he's a great pickup if you're doing a franchise, either with the Cardinals or against the Cardinals. Jeremy Walker, 46 saves with a 1.82 ERA.
Yeah, I was going to say Hitman. The Phillies' offense hadn't been that great, but Spencer Howard has been pretty good for him. I think it's one of the big reasons.
Yeah, currently leading the league with 249 strikeouts. I didn't see who was the AL leader in strikeouts. Joe Ryan with 254.
And by the way, Cardinal fan, I either your keyboard's going toast or you're just really trying to mess with the chat. So, yeah, Antoine Kelly, I apologize. I mean, a JUCO guy asking to be made a big jump, but 220, probably in real life he'd have been shut down right by now for some sort of fatigue, reason, just to keep him from.
Yeah, he's got a 7 ERA and a 1.81 WHIP. So.
But we give him the ball every 5th day.
You gotta believe in your guys. You just gotta believe in them.
Yeah.
We got Baez with 11.6 Ks per 9, leading the league.
Bryce Wilson with 6.6 strikeouts per walk.
That'd be cool if he could do that in real life. And 1.4 walks per 9. He's also leading there, which that's no. Bryce Wilson got a save in a game in which his team won by 20 runs.
Yes,
so,
yes, he did.
Congratulations to him.
It was the second time that Tom Malone, I believe, has been handed a 10 or more run lead and has failed to get the W in either of them.
Yeah, and I believe he's on the IL now with broken confidence.
Yes, he is.
What else we got?
So we do have to, I hate to pander to Cardinal fan, but he does show up every week and asks every week. So I guess we should show him where, what Dylan Carlson and Nolan Gorman are doing, which generally is hitting in the 230 to 240 range with some power.
Yeah, Nolan Gorman leads the team in home runs with 27 and hitting 239. So he is hitting over his
Carlson,
weight, which is
223.
How much does Dylan Carlson weigh? I always look for is he hitting over his weight? Is my new kind of metric.
Alejandro Kirk is going to have to, play very well.
Yeah. Has he played yet? I know he's been called up.
I haven't seen him in a game yet.
Oh, I would assume you would have the Blue Jays games
Uh,
on 24/7.
uh,
Just waiting.
yeah, that's a fair point. You know.
Janice Cabrera, 13-10 with a 2.58 ERA. He never worked out for my Cardinals franchise last year. Very frustrating.
Um, so we should figure out though. So we're going to need to pick a central game tonight because those are where the playoffs are still open. Really, we should pick an NL Central game,
Let's
right?
see what we got here. We got Pirates Cubs.
Because
Ooh,
Pirates, Reds, and Cardinals are all still battling it out.
and I think I'm on a Monday, so I think a lot of teams have off days. Let me hop over to Tuesday. See if we got something better.
Yeah, Alex, I would agree. If the Reds and Cardinals are playing each other, that would be perfect.
Now we got Cardinals Royals, Cubs Pirates. Yeah, they're playing. They're stuck in interleague games. Reds are playing the Red Sox.
What do you guys think, chat? We could do it. We could do two things. We could poll which game they want, and then also do the giveaway.
Yeah, we can do the giveaway, assuming, as always, I remember how to do it, which I believe I do. Yeah, a lot of interleague games at the end of the season. I don't know who schedules these things. We shouldn't have interleague games. We should have pitchers hit, and everything will be right with baseball again.
You can keep dreaming about that one.
Yeah. I don't know, there's a Royals Cardinals game.
Not bad because you've got Libertor too in that.
Yeah. I feel like we've seen some of these other teams.
I
Yeah, I don't want to watch. Who is that? Red
I don't
Sox.
think we need to see the Red Sox. No.
Red Sox are too bad.
Yeah. We seem to have some Royals cards votes, so
Royals cards votes.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
All right, let me get this giveaway going.
I'm gonna watch. We have a White Sox are leading 4-1, but with Dunning on the mound, but 2 men on, 1 out, Sano at the plate. So while you're figuring that out, I'm watching Sano hit.
I don't know what the rules are, and if we have the agreements with Sterling Double R Enterprises or whatever to be given out up to the date highlights of what's going on in baseball. Braves are up 2-0 though, so that's always good. Who's pitching?
Oscar Renoa tonight.
With a 2-hitter? Let's go. Let's see. Giveaway. So tonight we're going to be giving away a 1-month subscription to baseballamerica.com where you can read all of the amazing work that JJ and the team do over there. Assuming I can figure out how to do giveaways.
So it's a good hire, Cardinal fan. If you can tear Randy Johnson away from his photography to do, to do coaching, that's a good get.
Unlike the time that I forced, it was like 2024. I had to force Yadier Molina to retire. And then because I felt bad, I made him the AAA coach, one coach of the year, and he's like, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, let's see. 1-month subscription to baseballamerica.com. Theoretically, the giveaway is going. The giveaway is going.
I see it. It is going. It is successfully going, and we'll just have exclamation ticket rolling for quite a while here with 500 people on the stream.
Yeah.
So we can start rolling the game while we just watch ticket roll along.
What is interesting is that it says there's no entrance. So I'm going to say...
I can see the entrance.
Yeah, but in my thingy thing, it doesn't say anything. So stop typing ticket in the chat for the time being. Let's see if I can figure this out.
And then you're going to have to type ticket again.
Yeah. Back to giveaways.
Giveaway's still broken, it seems like.
Ticket cost is 1. I had a great question that I was going to give you something to talk about, but then I forgot what it was.
Oh, that's
okay. You know how big things always happen on the days we stream. We got a lot of notes today about major league teams making cuts to their
Yes.
scouting departments and other departments within their thing. I think it worked. Maybe it's not working. Okay, tickets might not be working.
I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, unfortunately, I expect to hear a lot more. I don't know another way to say it. Like there's the trepidation in baseball operations departments right now is pretty rough because, you know, there's going to be a lot of cuts, and there's going to be a lot of cuts, and not only is there going to be a lot of cuts, but you know, the teams that are announcing it now is kind of they're trying to do, I would say, in some ways, right by their people by giving them advance warning to try to find other jobs. But if there were 1,000 jobs, again, I'm just picking a random number, but if there were 1,000 jobs in baseball, MLB baseball last year for baseball operations employees, coaches, scouts, trainers, all that, analysts, and there are 750 jobs next year. Well, if that's the case, getting advance notice for jobs that don't exist may not be all that helpful,
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But, you know, unfortunately, that is kind of where it is. I don't think tickets working.
Tickets
I
are
think,
not working.
yeah, I think we can. Unfortunately, no giveaway tonight.
So how about this? You guys just keep typing ticket into the chat, and then JJ will randomly pick someone's name that he sees, and we'll give that person a month to Baseball America. I mean, that works for me. Yeah.
G Strat 1. I just picked G Strat 1.
G Strat 1, congratulations on winning 1 month subscription to Baseball America.
And the Nicolino, another fateful streamer, Twitcher.
And
What
support
is your
team member
question?
for Out of the Park.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to tell G Strat 1 to contact Axel and give him your email address. Congratulations, G Strat 1. Picked just out of thin air.
I really did pick a random. I closed my eyes, I promise, and just kind of pointed at the screen and saw what it pointed.
All right. See how that works. All right.
This is the way to do it.
That's a lot faster than doing the other thing. So what do we got here? We have
Brady Singer. Maybe he'll throw a no-hitter tonight. He came close in the big leagues.
anything's possible. Brady Singer and Matthew Liberatore.
Former Ray prospect traded to the Cardinals in the offseason. What was that deal? That was the Jose Martinez, Tommy Pham, and then he was traded, not offseason, but he was traded for that, and then Tommy Pham was traded again.
Also, last week I screwed up and I was managing both teams, so hopefully we won't screw it up this time. Ooh, also we get to see the speed of
Nick Heath.
Yeah. Now I'm semi-worried. Only threw 49 pitches. I'm going to assume he's just not stretched out. But I feel like that's not the case. That kind of worries me. But hey. For the Royals, we got Nick Heath leading off playing center field. I'm going to assume that's Jason Guzman. I feel like sometimes it's the easiest guess is the right one. At second base, Kelvin Gutierrez at third. Brewer Hicklin is the DH. Khalil Lee in right. Sebastian Rivero behind the plate. Bobby Witt Jr. at short. Kyle Isbell in left. And Nick Pratto at first with Brady Singer on the mound.
Kudos. That was every one of those was correctly pronounced, I believe.
I got really worried about a couple of them in there, especially Isbell.
So I'll do the Cardinals then, because you went 10 for 10. So Trey Fletcher at center field, Edmundo Sosa at second, Dylan Carlson in right, Lane Thompson in left, Andrew Kisner in catching, Nolan Gorman at third base, Elihuris Montero at DH, who also does play third base a lot, but they have Nolan Gorman, Luken Baker, the former two-way star in college ball, at first base, Mateo Gill, the son of Benji Gill at shortstop, and former first-round pick of the Rays, also very good friend of Nolan Gorman from our high school time, Matthew Liberatore on the mound.
I'm not going to lie. Definitely would have got Elihuris Montero wrong.
Elihuris Montero?
Not even a question. I would have flubbed that one from the jump.
And while we're getting rolling here, the Nicolino locked to make the majors that never made it. Brian Taylor is absolutely up there because they're. I would say that the guys who it all falls apart because of injuries are always pretty rough. Um, uh, the funny thing is more than the guys who don't make the majors. Like I am surprised that Mark Appel never got like a game in the majors. I was always kind of a Mark Appel skeptic, but I'm still surprised he never got a game.
Now, he was the
But
one. He was drafted in the first round, but then
by
didn't
the
want to sign,
Pirates,
and then went back in, and then got drafted like first, right?
yep, and then went 1-1 to the Astros. Um, and but the ones that always surprised me, I would say more so, are the ones who like I thought were going to be great and they ended up being okay. I Ooh, that looks long, that looks far, that looks deep, and that is Jason Guzman.
Yeah, we always get those early runs in this game.
We always do,
Heath got on. Guzman drove him in with the big home run to right field, and KC leads 2-0.
But oh, the Brewers are winning 15-2 tonight. Wow.
Hey, I'm still intrigued by the whole uh, Josh Hamilton everything.
His path, yeah.
Yeah,
One of the best Rule 5 picks of all time.
uh,
Although the Reds only got 1 year out of him before they traded, him for
was it
uh
Cueto?
no, Cueto came up through there. It was the Rangers hard throwing right hander still around. I mean, he's been around forever. He's coming back from TJ now, but always wild. Oh, and being named is just the most embarrassing thing in the world.
And he was
I'm
really good
going
that season. That the Reds got him to, right?
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna have to look it
Oh,
up
he's
because
got hair. Oh no! Now I know who it is, and I just can't think of his name. Edison Volquez.
yes. Yep.
Yes.
It was
I,
part of DVD. It was John Danks, Everson Volquez, and Thomas Diamond, and they were all Rangers prospects. Sebastian Rivera with taking it off the wall. Man, that's a epically long single. Oh, that was a flyout. Sorry, he did catch it. Okay,
I
Chris
thought
Lester
John
did
Danks was
catch
going
it.
to be better.
Yeah, he did better than Thomas Diamond.
True.
Oh, Bobby Witt is not having a great season in this game.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Weldon 06, Gorgo 2005. That's Uh, Ty Gainey led the PCL twice. Along those lines, Vulcan 21. I'll ask the whole screen. Who is the last minor leaguer to hit 400 in a season? I will give you a hint. You do not need to go nearly as far back as Ted Williams to have an answer for this. And by the way, Nicolino, Generation K also, yes, that is Paul Wilson, Bill Pulsifer, uh,
And the one good one.
who had three TJs. Help me, TJ.
Well, was Isringhausen in that, or was he? Was he
Yes,
later?
yes. Yeah, and that was, and Isringhausen had the three TJs, if I remember right. Three Tommy John jerseys.
I think Paul Wilson ended up all right with the Reds, right?
He had some very good deep arm 420. Rubio Durazo. He
Monster
had uh, he had a incredible season, hit over 400 with power.
and very
Vlad
low
Jr.
arms.
Vlad Jr. did come close 1 year, but did not. But that's a good pull there. That's right around 2000, 2001, if I remember right.
Rubio
But by the way,
Duraz.
2-1 here already. We have had, we are not going to have a no hitter tonight.
Oh, that reminds me. I talked to our friends over at Baseball Lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
They found, believe it or not, they found one extra shirt for me. And I want to see if your guy's shirt is still available. Because if so, it's a great shirt and I highly recommend it. And I don't know if it's still available.
I think it might be sold out except for a couple of small,
Yeah,
very
there's like
rare
a youth
sizes.
small.
Yeah.
You can also get the Baseball Lifestyle, Baseball America wallpaper if you Google around for Great logo. I'm extremely excited they found a shirt for me.
Sweet.
I had to send someone diving through boxes. You don't have just one somewhere. Maybe someone's using it as a, I don't know, just like propping up another box of the.
My thing is I don't have one of those, which is sad.
I was mad because I did not order it when I was supposed to.
My BA shirts are I have many, but many are quite old. Like I have one from our like 2008 prospect. I got actually three from our 2008 prospect handbook tour that we did. So things like that. But those shirts are 12 years old now.
You should do Baseball America undefeated in 2020 shirts.
Yeah, like every minor league team in baseball is doing. Um, but uh, again, I mean, we're Cardinal Fan 3000. We're giving you Nolan Gorman and Dylan Carlson tonight, and
And
Nolan
talking
Gorman
about Jason
out.
Isringhausen, who was great for the Cardinals.
Yeah. By the way, again, I talk about guys who I think are really hurt by not having a 2020. Elihuris Montero is one of those. He was promoted pretty aggressively, um, and I could have really used this year to kind of consolidate and get back to where he was, before kind of struggled some in 2019. Lucan Baker, by the way, just rounded out, but Lucan Baker was coming out of high school, like throwing 95, hitting 450-foot bombs, and kind of did that his rookie year, freshman year. What am I talking about? Freshman year of college. Oh, that looks warning track.
Looks good.
Um,
Doesn't get all of it.
but and then had to give up pitching, and basically, has ended up kind of being a little bit more one-dimensional than a guy who looked like a really great two-way star when he was 18.
Yeah, I feel like very shortly we're gonna not be talking about a lot of two-way guys anymore. Just with with the injuries to Ohtani and now McKay needing surgery, I feel like
It is tough.
I feel like we had our time of talking about it for a little bit, and
And
I think we're done now.
the funny thing about it is who's the two best two-way players as far as pulling it off in some manner, although neither of them really have pulled it off. They're now just position players. But Jake Cronenworth, your potential NL Rookie of the Year, closed games for Durham last year. Like there were, multiple occasions where he came in not because they were just trying to fill in, but they were really looking at him as a two-way player. Now he's been so good that there's no way that I think the Padres would ever use him that way. And then Jared Walsh, who we were talking about with the Angels. I mean, Jared Walsh is a two-way guy in college who did two-way last year, but now he's kind of just a slugger.
Yeah, I heard Cronenworth was like really good, and
92 to 95. I think he saw. I think I maybe saw 6 with a really good slider for a guy. I mean, he did it in college. That's why he played first base in college. Why he's good at first base now, was he was so good as a pitcher that they didn't want to have him use his arm, in an infield type role. But at the same time, again, what he's done now, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I agree with Hitman 1798 in the chat. The Padres are just a lot of fun to watch. They're definitely my second game.
Yes, they are incredibly watchable. Incredibly watchable.
All right, Kansas City just added on another one with a Nick Prado double.
You're a little ahead of me. I need to hit the live button again because it seems to have fallen behind for me. Now I just saw that.
Well, you're just about to see the speed of Nick Heath in full effect as he slaps one into left field, takes it all the way for a triple to clear the bases and give the Royals a 5-1 lead. And
Could we have a blowout? We haven't had many blowouts.
Well, Rondona's coming to pitch for the Cardinals, so Cardinals might be worried about a blowout here.
Look at Nick Heath run. Can't steal a base though if you're already standing on third. Well, you can. You're unlikely. You're unlikely to steal a base if you're already standing on third.
Never know. Who was the one that stole home? And
there's only one out. I think Nick Heath is going to tag on that. I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah. I think a fly ball to the shortstop, he might have had the chance. But So yeah, Kelvin Gutierrez coming up with a 6-1 Royals lead.
And by the way, Weldon '06, John Olerud was, I mean, that's one of the great two-way guys. Absolutely. I mean, I would actually I would also throw Dave Winfield as a guy who could do it, when he was in college too.
Was there anything Dave Winfield couldn't do?
No, literally no. I mean, what? He was drafted in basketball, baseball, football. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember if he was drafted in football, but I
I
know
think
he was drafted in.
he was drafted in basketball. He was drafted by the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, and I believe also the ABA. So he got drafted in four leagues at the same time. So
I also agree if you hit man 1798, a Dodgers Padres playoff series would be wonderful. I would utterly get behind that. By the way, look at the defense here for this Royals defense. Prado very good at first. Guzman very good at second. I would expect Witt will go up from that eventually. Gutierrez is good with a really good arm at third too, and the outfield also very solid.
yeah, I think Lane Thomas was the one that tracked that one down to the wall before.
Okay, how about the real Teddy O? He's no Randy Poffo. I'm going to also go with but he's no Ken Brett. George's brother also. I mean, great hitting pitcher, but yes, Joe Mauer. I mean, Joe Mauer was going to be FSU's starting quarterback if he had not opted for baseball. Chose well. I mean, he had a great career, obviously, but
Look, if we're talking about two sports stars, the answer is obviously Todd Helton. And the brain on Todd Helton to say,
but
I think this Peyton Manning kid might be good at quarterback. So I'm going to step away.
the funny thing about that, I mean, you talk about two-way also. I saw Todd Helton utterly. I was at the University of Georgia covering the University of Georgia baseball team at that time, and Todd Helton absolutely smoked the Georgia Diamond Dogs. But I remember him more as a lights out closer than I do as a sweet swinging first baseman. He was lights out when he came in. It was just the game was over. Dangerous Dean 7. I will say he did play. He actually was at Texas, if I remember right, for like one quarter, one semester. But I do think they had already moved him to tight end in that one semester, which kind of helped convince him to go to play baseball, if I remember correctly.
It's a big target at tight end throw.
And yes, Vulcan 21. Actually, you know what? Bo Jackson is the obvious answer for best two-way. Deion Sanders, obviously, the other obvious answer. I'm also going to throw in, though, Brian Jordan always gets short shrift on this because Brian Jordan was a two-sport guy, and he had the harder path. He wasn't Bo Jackson. He wasn't Deion Sanders. He wasn't an 80 runner, who could kind of do things. Brian Jordan, again, I just, not that he was as good as those guys necessarily, but just that he was nearly as impressive, especially considering a starting NFL safety and starting MLB outfielder who didn't have the insane physical tools that deserve. Very good tools, but not those guys. And DJ Dozier, yes. Hey, by the way, I'm old and I've seen a lot. Ricky Williams, I watched Ricky Williams strike out an awful lot as a South Atlantic League Philadelphia Philly prospect. But I did see Ricky Williams on multiple years. Also, Terrell Buckley played for the Macon Braves that I got to cover. There was a time where basically if you were a speedy, toolsy outfielder at a major college program, you could get a nice little second paycheck by being willing to come play play baseball during the summer.
You may have heard of guys like Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Did he have to give all that money back? Didn't he sign his contract with the A's?
Yeah. The key thing there is you didn't get that draft pick back.
Yeah. And he was not projected that high, right? He was supposed to.
That seemed higher than I expected. Partly because there was,
they knew he was going to go.
Right. Well, the funny thing about that though is just so I did a story that after he signed with the A's and basically said, like, look, let's you just lay this out, financials of it. I had done a story a couple of years before that talking about how if you compare Jeff Samardzija and Calvin Johnson, just how much better baseball pays, which is absolutely true. Like Jeff Samardzija is not nearly as good a baseball player as Calvin Johnson was as a wide receiver. Both of them were guys who could play the other sport, because of longevity, all that. But I then wrote one about Kyler Murray and about how quarterback kind of changes that whole dynamic because quarterbacks get paid a lot better than baseball players and can play a very long time. Good one. Kenny Lofton, Tony Gwynn also. Tony Gwynn also point guard at a D1 school. But people just kept saying, "Oh, Kyler Murray can't. He's too short. He'll never get drafted. He's too short." And it's like a year later, it's like, yeah, he drafted for number 1 overall. And by the way, does not look out of place, even though he's really short.
Yeah.
I think the Royals kind of have.
Short quarterbacks usually play baseball. Look at Russell Wilson.
Again, another two-way guy, And Kyle Parker also. There was a pair of NC State quarterbacks who did both.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Bo Jackson was really good at both. I think Brian Jordan was probably the second best of guys that did both. Because, Deion was obviously extremely good at football. I mean, he was all right at baseball. He was fast.
He was fine, yeah. But Brian Jordan was I would say a better all-around baseball player, yeah. By the way, Matt Holliday, another guy. Matt Holliday had a legitimate football career if he chose to go that route, and chose well.
Instead, he tried to tackle home plate that one time. He was running home.
And again, I've had a couple scouts say, like, is that Nick Keefe stealing a base?
Yep.
Still third. Nick Keefe stealing a base. Sweet. Drew Henson. Well,
Drew Henson.
Actually, Hitman, you know what? I'll argue that Drew Henson chose relatively well. He got paid 4 times.
Yeah.
Because he got paid, then they had to pay him again in baseball to give up football completely. And I will not forget John Away Nicolina. He was, but he got paid, then he got paid to give up football completely. Then he was allowed to go to football, and he did sign a football contract too. So,
and it was by the Cowboys, right? So I guess I'm assuming he got paid from that because
not great, but he still got paid, and he'd already had pretty good money at that point. By the way, also Danny Ainge at that same time. Danny Ainge played for the Blue Jays.
And I think
so.
I want to say at some point, all the quarterbacks on the Cowboys. I think at one point all the quarterbacks on the Cowboys played minor league baseball.
Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson, and Quincy Carter.
Yeah.
Quincy Carter was at Georgia when I was covering Georgia, but he had been a Cubs outfield prospect. Who gave it, who went back to it. Yes, and Tom Glavine was a very good hockey player. Josh Booty, Josh Booty's a good one to name. I think actually we have you should check it out if you want to hear more about that. We do a podcast at Baseball America that kind of talks to prospects, I would say some of the time at least, that are guys who don't make it. And Josh Booty, if I remember correctly, was one of the I don't know if I remember correctly. I remember listening. And it's called From Phenom to the Farm. So check that out if you want to on any of your favorite podcast apps. From Phenom to the Farm.
There's your
Elihuris Montero. Again, I like him.
388 feet, 98.1 exit velocity.
And Chris Wenke, and then the flip side of Chris Wenke, we have Brandon Wheaton.
Mm-hmm.
No, not flip side. They both did the same thing. Were really old football players because they had played a lot of baseball before they gave up.
Yeah, I feel like, I'm probably wrong, but the only guy that I feel like has spent a couple of years in baseball and then went to have a good football career has spent a couple of years in minor league baseball and then had a good football career so far has been Russell Wilson. Or at least he's had the best football career after spending, 3 years with the Rockies?
Well, but he never stopped playing football. He was doing it during the summer. So I think that's one of the key things. If you if you stop playing the, by the way, Anthony Alford went the other way. Anthony Alford was a college football player who did sign with the Blue Jays, but I think it's had a stretch there of like 2 years where he had like 10 at bats and did make the majors. Still, I mean, he's hurt right now, but still, kind of a major league player, and did that after 2 year layoff of really not playing baseball because of his college football career. Oh, Jeffrey Del Rosario in.
For some reason, I wasn't subscribed to Phenom to the Farm, but I've corrected that.
It's very good. It's not,
Brandon,
and I don't do it, but Kyle Banduho does for us, and he's very good.
does he have the
And Tim
dulcet tones
Tebow,
of Kyle
yeah.
Blazer?
By the way, pretty clever actually, But by the way, yes, the fact that we did this long Big Red 75 and didn't mention Tim Tebow is pretty remarkable.
Why was he not at the alternate site? Let's go, Mets.
Do you sell tickets for fans at the alternate site?
Hey, you could sell jerseys.
No, you don't.
You could sell those nice new Nike jerseys with. Danny Cannell. I just missed Danny Cannell playing baseball. I think he retired like the week before I went to a Cannon River Sharks game.
Danny Burrell too. And by the way, Charlie Ward, yeah, you do have Charlie Ward, Heisman Trophy winner and Nick Bookard.
Mets got a new owner today, but it still is waiting approval from the MLB.
Yeah, still is waiting approval.
And we don't.
Step one is done, I guess would be the way I put it.
And we still don't know when that approval is going to be, right? Because we don't know when. Didn't the manager or whatever he needs approval from? They're supposed to meet in November, but I think that's been.
Well, it's going to be virtual, but it's
virtual.
probably going to be virtual, so it still probably should be able to happen. Oh, that ball's in the gap. Nick Prado.
Nick Prado, that's second double of the day, I believe.
Easy double. This is one, to be honest, we're playing out the final, the string here. This one.
I think this one's pretty much over here.
Although we do get to see if Nick Heath could get another steal.
Sure. Didn't Tracy McGrady try to pitch somewhere?
Sugarland Skeeters.
Everybody went to the Sugarland
in the Atlantic League. Yep. And so here we go. We have 3 outs to go in this one. Nope, I'm sorry. It's the bottom of the 8th. We have 6 outs to go. And we still look like we have 6 outs to go. Edmundo Sosa.
Look, they're fighting back here. 8-3.
Oh, by the way, Tom Brady also drafted in Major League Baseball, but back when we had really long drafts. Expos.
And when we had the Expos.
But by the way, along those lines, Troy Polamalu also drafted out of high school. But Calvin Johnson was a legitimate, interesting baseball prospect. Dylan Carlson home run. Cardinal fan.
You got
I know your keyboard's not working, but you gotta make some kind of sound for that. There you go.
What was it? Frank Thomas and Bo Jackson just missed each other by like a year or 2 years, I think it was. That'd have been an interesting football and baseball team.
That very much would have. But I mean, by the way, the Cardinals aren't completely out of this if they keep hitting these solo home runs.
Look, as someone who's been watching Braves games all year, teams can come back from anything. I've seen Braves blow 10-run leads. I've seen
them come back from basically, and
it's been a.
Well, I mean, look at this is. So the tying run is on deck now.
Mm-hmm. And they have Nolan Gorman up, so Nolan Gorman hits a home run right here, and we're really in business. They still have no outs.
But Nolan Gorman hits him. Oh, Nolan, another strikeout.
El Harris, though, coming up next.
Already has 1 homer.
He's not going to help himself there. Rolling into a double play to end the inning.
So now we are down to, 3 outs for each.
Cody Whitley coming into pitch for the Cardinals. Let's try to knock this out quick.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hitman. Nolan Gorman needed to put that ball in play.
The question is, will Mookie Betts retire to become a Pro Bowler?
He could.
I wonder if he can. You know what? Actually don't know when the bowling season is, so I don't know if he could technically bowl in the off season.
I would imagine, like, does the bowling season have seasons, or is it kind of like, look, we can do this 12 months of the year, you know?
They probably have some semblance of a season.
Dangerous Dean, do you mean this year or next year? Because I don't know if he's necessarily going to get another shot this year, but I think that he absolutely will get another shot next year. And by the way, Nicolino, I think Nikith now has 75 steals, 76.
Something like that.
Luke and Baker home run. If that had come just an out before, this game would be very interesting. I talked about his power. Everyone I'm talking about is coming up.
Hey, if Gorman would have just put the ball in play, they might be tied right now.
Daniel Tillo in.
He's gonna drive one to the
And
gap.
speaking of, he was, I believe, a Kentucky basketball signee for 1 year. 6'8" dude. I remember he was a basketball signee. May not have been Kentucky. Kentucky's pretty good, but he was a basketball signee. Oh, Falcon 21, you are now talking I was the biggest Omar Moreno fan in the world when I was like, that's my formative years of baseball is We Are Family, and I wanted to be Omar Moreno. By the way, I don't think we've had a wild pitch in this game either.
We have not had a wild pitch, but this game is getting kind of wild now. Thanks to
wow.
Sosa.
Second homer of the game for him.
I don't think he wants that dog to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I know. This is the time every night. Like Max is dancing around.
All right.
Like, hey, I'll take it for a good game.
Carlson came up. Carlson grounds out to shortstop after his home run last time.
Final out is the final. Who's going to be our final batter?
Lane Thomas. He's been doing big things. Lane Thomas drives it to deep left field. I'm sorry, Max.
Max. Oh, Max. Well, it's a great game. I'll give it that.
Jonathan Boland coming in.
It's a great game.
Royals.
Max showed up. Come here, Max. I guess more than anything, we have to blame Edmundo Sosa for you having to wait. I'm sorry.
My dog
sad.
Doesn't even want to come in here. He doesn't even look. He'll take a step in here every once in a while, but
it was over. It was down to the last out, Max. They had a 7-run lead.
We were going home.
It was 7 runs.
We didn't have to give any more perfect team packs away.
That's just sad. Now. Oh, Sebastian Rivera. He's not going to steal. Oh, they bring in other catcher MJ Melendez. Yeah, we hadn't had a Max appearance on the Twitch stream in quite a while. So. Man, that is. I'm still kind of stunned though that happened.
Yeah. And if Dylan Carlson would have just gotten on before,
yeah,
they'd have won this game already. Or no, Nolan Gorman. All right, Nolan Gorman, walk it off. Let's get out of here.
I kind of think that the Cardinals deserve to win now. I mean,
yeah, now that they battled back, they could have just rolled over.
I mean, but because it was 8-1, right? I'm not forgetting that it was. 8-1? And Nolan Gorman.
Somewhere around there.
Nolan Gorman strikes out again. I don't even want to know how many strikeouts that is for Nolan Gorman in this game.
I think it's somewhere between 3 and 5. I think 3.
But Elihuris Montero's. Lucan Baker also has shown his power. Okay, I'm sorry, Max. I'll be with you soon.
This was all
that looks like a double play.
Yeah. This was all just set up so that Nikith could try to get on base and steal some more bags again. Junior Fernandez coming in to pitch for the Cards.
Oh, he throw hard. No Nikki phone.
Oh, error by the third baseman here. The Royals are going to have Kelvin Gutierrez on first with Brewer Hickman coming up. 2 outs in the top of the 11th.
Again, I'm gonna have to reload this. I am behind. I had a little pause.
Things are happening. Things are happening. Who's the Cardinals' third base coach? Not willing to risk it for the biscuit here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you got a sin there.
Gutierrez held up at third. 55 speed. I guess I understand it, but you got Sebastian Rivera coming to the plate.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you sin there. Trey Fletcher has a good arm, but it's not Clemente in center.
But tell you what, Sebastian Rivera comes up clutch.
Okay, I think my dog may eat my leg if the Cardinals come back here again.
Well, we're going to be going to the bottom of the 11th here, with the Royals up too. Let's see what happens here. Mateo Gil leading off for the Cardinals.
So bottom of the order, then the top of the order.
Gil grounds out to short for out number 1. Ooh, Trajan Fletcher flies out to left for out number 2. All right, Edmundo Sosa, who ruined our hopes of getting out of here early before. Sosa walks. Dylan Carlson.
Brings him up. Cardinal fan.
Dylan Carlson strikes out looking to end the game.
Sorry, Cardinal fan 3000.
Oh my God, Dylan! Wow. Nolan
What
Gorman,
was the achievement?
5 Ks. I think everybody on the team, everybody on the Royals had a hit. Yeah, all the Royals had a hit.
Yeah, because they did pinch hit, but everyone in the lineup did. Yep.
Yeah, actually they did. They had pinch runner. That's why. Or no, they did pinch hit.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that win probability chart there.
It was all good, and then things got crazy. No Chicago Hope stream tonight. For those wondering, Nick Heath, player of the game, obviously. Nick Heath
completely agree with that.
up to 73 stolen bases. I think that didn't count tonight's game. Okay. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. JJ, I know you need to take that dog out.
So I do. I'm going to. I will head off to go take Max for his nightly constitutional.
So thank you guys for watching. Very much appreciate it. We'll be back here again next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as we wrap up the regular season in the Baseball America Prospects League. I'm going to get all this stuff sent over to the folks at Stats Plus, so then you'll be able to go to baseballamerica.com, and up in the header you can click BAPL Sim, and that'll take you over there, and you can check out all the stats and stuff, and get caught up to date with where we are.
And thank you everyone in the chat. Good to see everybody.
And go subscribe to the Baseball America podcast, and listen to Josh and JJ. Thanks, guys. See you again next week. Take it easy, folks.